it's Christy here for my 5th episode of my October Daily. I'm sorry there's been a few days in between videos, but I spent most of the weekend scrapbooking, so there was able to be a few videos then, but now it is the work week, and yeah, enough said there. So I am on, this is October 10th. I celebrated my birthday with my husband's family on this day, and my daughter also got really sick, so that's what these two photos are of. And so I start with that black and white chevron piece, and because I'm turning 31, or I did turn 31, I wanted to use a piece of ephemera that had the number 31 on it, so that's why I picked that tickety looking one. And then I thought that I could use this Happy Halloween piece and just cut off the happy and just kind of fiddle around with a bit of a title on the photo there. But I also wanted to do some journaling, so I create a little bit of a cluster, as I do, with the ticket, a little scrap piece, this medallion, which I peel off the foam, because my album is getting very thick, and we're only on day 10. So yeah, I don't want to go into a second album if I can help it. But you know, like when I display these albums, I do display them. Like it's on my one of my coffee tables. It's a bit higher up, a bit of a higher style of table, and so I usually place it on there, and so it can be standing. And yeah, so I don't really worry too much about the thickness. Yeah. So I added a label, and now I'm playing around with this title. So it's this happy, and obviously I don't have room to spell birthday because it would go too much into the picture. So I opt for spelling happy B-Day. And just so that the orange thickers stand out a bit more, I layer up some washi tape. The black and white stripe, I believe, is from Stampin' Up, and the black and white polka dots is from Stampin' Up, and the white and black stripe is from a swap. So I just add B-Day, and those thickers, again, don't stick at all, so I add some glossy accents just to make sure they're on there forever. And yeah, that's pretty much all I do on this layout. I do add a little bit of journaling, and then I realized that I don't have the number, the date for the 10, so I thought about adding it to that filler card with the journaling, but then decided to do something a little bit different and just add it directly to the photo. I like to embellish all the things, so adding the number there added some extra interest to the photo. So now we're on October 11th. This is the day that we celebrated my nephew's second birthday. So I wanted a spot to do a lot of journaling, so you see me fiddling around. My desk is like a mess, so I sped through me like hunting for things. And I found that frame just to the right there. It says Celebrate, and it has some gold polka dots, so I knew I wanted to use that somewhere, either on this layout or the layout next to it. And then these chipboard thickers say the word boo, so I wanted to say something like boo, you're 2, in reference to my nephew's birthday. So I bring out my gold thickers because I wanted to match the gold polka dots on that little frame there. And I'm just spelling out the word your. And then I go to put the word boo on there. And I want it to pop a little bit more off of this really neat looking chevron piece. It's like a really subtle chevron. It's almost like a polka dotty chevron, if that makes sense. So I bring out the glitter tape and I just double it up, because if I did a single layer, you would be able to see the paper in one of the B's. So then I go to put the chipboard on, and does it fit? Oh no, that would be too easy. The reason why this video is so long is because I really struggled. But I really do like the way that this card turned out, so stay with me. So I decide to find the matching remnant from that piece of paper, and like I said, my desk is a mess, so it took me a while. And I added the glitter tape and just made sure it matched up. And so I'm going to put the B and the O on one side, and then the second O on the right side. And then I decide that instead of saying Boo, you're 2, I should say Boo, Nixon is 2, because I didn't want people to be confused, because it is right below a photo of my daughter and myself. I didn't want people to be confused thinking that it was her birthday, because it wasn't. So then I'm thinking about putting the thickers on a black piece, and yeah, just really playing around, I guess, which is the fun part, and I really do enjoy it. So I shift over some of the letters to be on the left-hand card. So it'll say now Boo Nixon's 2, and so I think that's super cute. And then I find this piece of ephemera that has like a little haunted house, and it's really hard to see, but there's like this really cute little scarecrow, which I thought was just adorable, so I wanted to use that. I don't know, it kind of was kiddish to me, so I wanted to use it. And that bat I thought was pretty cute too, so I cut down the ephemera, I cut a little scrap of black, and then I had this little tag in a swap that I received, so I kind of just trimmed that down to layer in behind as well, just to bring in a little bit more orange. And then I had these glittery orange directional arrows that I wanted to bring in a little bit more orange to the layout, so I hunt those down, but I had a trouble finding the second directional arrow. I do find it eventually. I had some washing behind there just to add a little bit more interest and more black. I don't love the way it looks, but it doesn't bother me enough to fix it. Adhere down the bat, trim off the excess, just kind of shift things around a bit, and realize I probably should adhere these down with glossy accents as well, just because of the glitter tape. It wasn't really sticking very well. Usually those are like super sticky, and I've never used a chipboard sheet before this album, so it's been really fun using those. And I had to use glossy accents on those directional arrows because I had them on a previous layout but ended up pulling them up. So just adding some extra enamel dots, and that card is done, and I think it's so cute. I really like the way it turned out. So now I just want to add a little tiny bit of journaling to this card, and I think my video cuts out, but I just add a little scrap of black and this gold flag label, again to go with the gold on the layout already. And then I add an enamel dot and a brad. So that was off screen. Sorry, my battery died. But here I am back again. You can see I had a little bit of a costume change. And this is a few days later. So yeah, so just trimming it down to fit into the pocket, and this page protector was like really warped, so you see me playing around with it. I don't understand why it's so thick, but it's probably because of that medallion piece, actually. So now I'm on to the right side, and I knew I wanted to use that frame, and so I want to bring in some more orange, to this side, so I used that orange paper and just adhere that down. It's pretty, this side's really simple. I wanted to do a bunch of journaling inside there, so I add the number 10, only to realize a little bit later that it's actually October 11th. So luckily those thickers peel off really nicely. and I'm able to change it. And I'm just kind of deciding what to do on this side. I don't do a ton. I add some of these, there's black directional arrows, so I thought because I used the glittery ones on the left hand side that I could pull those in along with this bat as well, because I used one on the left side. I thought about bringing it in. And then the black arrows didn't really stand out, so I just layer them on this scrap piece of glitter tape. And again, if you haven't seen my previous videos, I'm using just my tape runner on the glitter tape because it's really cheap stuff from the dollar store, and I can't peel the backing off without it like falling apart in my hands. So it's just easier that way. And then I'm just going to add another little label to this photo of my nephew blowing out his birthday candle. My sister-in-law made us homemade pizza, which was delicious, and she made this cake, which was Thomas the Train themed, and even though she thinks it looks hideous, it is unbelievable. Like, it is so amazing. So, yeah. Adding some more enamel dots and another brad just to bring the two layouts together, and this layout is pretty much done. So I really like this layout. This is probably one of my favorite layouts just because of that filler card that I spent like forever on. Alright, so now the following page is actually October 11th as well. These photos are from earlier in the day, but I wanted to keep the birthday photos together, so I kind of switched up the order a little bit. So my daughter was really sick over the weekend. She was feeling fine, but then on the Saturday she just kind of woke up with a bit of a fever. So I decided to use this skeleton tag because it was reminded me of kind of like medical things. And then you see also that I pulled out that like poison bottle, or I don't think it's a poison bottle, but it's like an apothecary bottle. So I thought those two things would be really appropriate. And I knew all along that I wanted to cover up the word skeleton. So yeah. And I decided to go with yellow, more yellow in this layout because I hadn't really been using a lot of yellow. And I trimmed out that exclamation mark from just one of the 12 by 12 paper sheets. And I'm playing around a ton with how I wanted this card because I thought I wanted all the things on this card, but decided not to go that route, I guess. So yeah. So the photo on the left, the 3x4, is of my daughter sleeping. She slept a ton this weekend. It was so sad just to see her so sick. So, yeah, lots of baby cuddles and snuggles and sleeping. Yeah, but she's better now, so yeah, I'm still trying to fit everything on this card and decide just to forego the apothecary bottle and just use the tag. And then, so I'm trimming it down. I really do like the idea of tags and like having the baker's twine and all that kind of stuff in there, but I just feel like my album is getting so thick that I'm gonna just kind of not use the tags as much as they're intended. So I covered the word skeleton with some washi, and then I'm just using these black thickers to spell out the word sicky. Because she's a little sicky. So yeah, and that card's done. I don't love it. I think it still needs a little something extra, but I just can't decide what it needs. Add the little bottle and some labels to the card, just a journal about what's happening. Just saying that Nora was sick all weekend. Layer in behind some orange. Trim down the label, because there is no getting that chipboard up, I'll tell ya. It is on there. So just trim that down and do my journaling. And then the 4x6 photo on the bottom is from earlier on Saturday afternoon, before the party started, and it's of my other sister-in-law, Sam, giving Nora a little bit of a haircut. Nothing drastic, but the sides of her hair, the sides of her head had like little flyaway pieces that like just stuck up like all over the place. So Sam gave her a little bit of a haircut, and because she was so sick, she just like sat there and took it. She really did not care. Had she been not sick and just like healthy, she really would not have put up with it, I'm sure. Added the date, which was the 11th. I just added the date again because it was on another page. So yeah, my desk was a mess. I've said that 1,000 times, I feel like, so I had to hunt down for this 31 rub-on. So the October 12th, which we're on now, is my birthday, and so this is from my birthday, so I wanted to use this rub-on from Michaels that says 31 to show that I turned 31, and I used these orange thickers, but of course they don't fit, so I try fooling around with it and kind of go wonky, but yeah, that's not me, so take them all off and decide to use the black thickers, which are like quite thin, so for you to be able to see the thickers and for obviously other people viewing the album to see the thickers, I just use the washi to kind of pop it up, and you can see it better in person. It's easier to read. So it just says 31 years. Looking back on the video, I probably could have used the orange thickers and just used the letters YRS as like an abbreviated version of years, but I like the way it looks. And so the 3x4 photo is of a gift from my daughter and from my husband, along with the flowers. And then the top photo looks kind of weird. It's not like the best photo, but we went to my parents' house for dinner, and this is what my mom made me. And my brother. I should say that it's also my brother's birthday, because we're twins. So it's not all about me, but unfortunately I didn't get a lot of photos of us on that day, but I did take a picture of the food. So this is a dish that my mom makes like for all kinds of special occasions, and this day was also Thanksgiving in Canada, but my family anyways, doesn't really go big for Thanksgiving. Instead, we celebrate our birthday usually because it usually falls very, very close to Thanksgiving. On this year it fell right on Thanksgiving. So, anyways, my mom made us this dish. It's called Japanese chicken wings. I believe it's from like a Best of Bridge cookbook or something like that. Yeah, I have no idea why they're called Japanese chicken wings. All I know is they are delicious. So, yeah, she made me and my brother these chicken wings and a cake, and it was yummy. So I just trimmed down the tag so it just said treat and do a little layering of embellishments. I got the sequin ribbon in a swap as well, so I add that. I don't love this card and how it turned out. I think it's mostly because you can't really see the photo in its entirety. So yeah, but it's done, and it's in the album. So put the chipboard numbers on there to say October 12th, and then I just add the rest of this label that I used on the opposite layout to add a little bit of journaling about the chicken wings. And yeah, so I'm just putting those away into the album. And I just wanted to thank you again for watching. I do appreciate all your comments and likes. Thanks so much. Bye.